Good morning, and welcome to yet another First Five. I want you to think back a journey down memory lane for just a second. If you are someone who claims to follow Jesus, this question is for you. Why did you decide to do that? What was it about your life that changed and you decided to follow Jesus? What was it that attracted you to the love of Christ and attracted you to a place that would change your life? For me and for many Christians today, I grew up in a Christian home. So what shaped me was the kind of people that my parents were and the people I interacted with at church. It was my decision to follow Jesus. And that's what shaped me. And it's important for us to remember why we made the decision that we did. Because life is going to get hard, and we need to remember. Because on the day that you decided to follow Jesus, you were overwhelmed by his love, or by his grace, or by all of the above of his character. You were so sure that this was the life you were going to live, which is why you made the decision that you did. But life gets difficult. And so in Matthew chapter 14, we read a story. And I think it represents the journey of faith that often we take in life over and over in a cycle. So Matthew 14, starting in verse 22, it says, "Immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go ahead of him to the other side while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone. But the boat was already a considerable distance from land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. During the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. 'It's a ghost,' they said, and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, 'Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid.' 'Lord, if it is you,' Peter replied, 'tell me to come to you on the water.' 'Come,' he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and began to sink, cried out, 'Lord, save me.' Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. 'You of little faith,' he said, 'why did you doubt?' And when they climbed into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, 'Truly, you are the Son of God.'" This story is really important to how we walk with Jesus. Because here we have a story where Jesus walks out on the water. He does something that catches our attention. He does something that says, "Jesus, I want to come closer to you." And that's exactly what Peter said. He said, "If this is you, have me come out on the water with you." And he says, "Come to me. Come to me." And Peter begins to walk on the water, and then he gets distracted by the chaos around him. He loses focus on the reason he stepped out of the boat, and he begins to sink. And Jesus catches him and says, "Where'd your faith go? Focus on me and have courage." And they return to the boat. This is important to us because we have made a decision to follow Jesus. If that's you today, you've already made the decision to step out of the boat. But often our world becomes so chaotic that we lose focus and we sink. The blessing for us today is that Jesus is always there to lift us back up. But then he'll ask you the question, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" So here's my challenge for you today. Look back and remember why you stepped out of the boat. Because the reason you stepped out of the boat is what's going to keep you afloat on the water. Because it will get chaotic. But if you remember that Jesus called you to come to him, then you'll stay afloat and you won't sink. And when you lose focus, because you will lose focus, Jesus will pull you out of the water and ask you that question, "Why did you doubt?" And your answer can be, "I forgot why I stepped out of the boat." But from this day forward, I call you to remember why you took your first step toward Jesus. And let that drive you to greater and greater faith. And don't doubt him, because he will keep you afloat in this crazy world of chaos. Have a great day.